What's in the Bag, where we give the voice to the voiceless and we let you say whatever is on your mind. My name is Marvina and I am your host.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let me look at my Facebook page because for some reason when we go live, they don't let me go live on my channel, and I don't know why, but I'm getting ready to make sure that I'm going live. Let me wait. Hold on. It ain't only me. Here we go. And other people see us. Good morning. Welcome to another segment of Early Morning Coffee. Wait, what's in the bag? Early Morning Coffee with Marvina and co-host. Well, let me let y'all know what I got in my cup this morning. I have some of this McDonald's McCaff coffee this morning in my cup with a little French vanilla. I even put a little powdered French vanilla and I put extra sugar because I needed it this week. I needed some sugar. I needed something to get me up this morning. I'm telling you, it's been one of them mornings, man. I'm telling you. But anyway, I want to introduce to some and present to others my BFF.
Good morning. Welcome to What's in the Bag. As you guys can see, I am out and about. I'm sitting in my car at the park. It's a beautiful Saturday trying to support my grandbabies with the baseball. Then I'm going to hang with my mother later today. But right now in my coffee, I am drinking some Dunkin' Donuts. I made my own version of iced coffee. And all the ice melted because my coffee was too hot. But it's still good. That's what I'm drinking with a shot of hazelnut, and of course it's sweet and low for me. But that's what I have in my cup this morning.
Man, that's what's in your bag, girl, this morning. It's been one of the mornings, girl. I mean, it really is. It's not even just the morning. It's been this. And I
It's
don't
been
know
a
if
weird
anybody,
week.
yeah, I don't know if anybody has been feeling it, but this week it's been a little disturbing, I guess, in my spirit. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. I'm waking up in the morning tired as I go into bed. It's like I'm fighting this morning and I'm not understanding. In the morning times, it's like, okay, I don't want to get out of bed. And normally, 4:30, I'm like, but now it's like 4:35. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get up. Where did time go? It's just like for real. And then all through the whole day, it just seems the whole day. It seems like I'm
Yeah,
in this funk. But you know
yeah,
what? God
I
has
agree
been
with
with us. Yeah, He has been traveling with me. I've been hearing stuff in my spirit. And some of the things I'm hearing in my spirit is disturbing. But I said, you know what, Lord? You gonna work it out. You'll
you.
work it
Gonna,
out.
you
You
you gonna
always
work it
do.
out.
Yes. And
Mm.
how's mommy over there, Yvonne? I know mommy's been out of the hospital now for what, a week? Is it a week?
She's been out of the hospital since Mother's Day weekend. Since
Okay.
Mother's Day weekend, but she's been on bed rest net bed rest now. She got to wait it out 3 weeks, and then she'll be able to get up and move around and do more of the things that she wants to. So we're just gonna continue to rally around her. I'm gonna go spend after the games today. I'm gonna go and spend the day with her, cook her some fish.
Yeah.
She's on the strangest diet that I've ever heard of. She can only have protein, no vegetables, and starch.
Wow.
For right now, yeah,
No,
weirdest diet.
no season. What they said, just a little salt and pepper.
Just a little bit of salt and pepper, and maybe a pat of butter. That's it.
Wow.
So, um, starches, very bland diet, no vegetables. So I said, wow. I said, Mom, I'm sorry, I'm cooking me some broccoli today, and I will do.
But you know what I love about y'all? Y'all all rally around, take time, take the turns. You know, I've never seen a family, grandkids, kids, everybody, they put a schedule. Okay, you be with her this day, you be with her that day. You get out this time. I love that about y'all. Y'all make sure y'all
Yeah,
take care of mommy. And that is she's graced with five, six,
yeah,
one step,
six girls,
6 girls. And
six
I'm
girls.
just saying how their y'all family just come together when your mom has or father when your
Yeah,
dad was alive, and when any of y'all. And I love that about y'all. Y'all such a great family. Got a bond that is wonderful, and of course everybody. Good morning, Miss Roxy, Reverend Roxy. I love you, girl. Good morning, mommy. I love the way y'all family bond. And every family we clash. I know that every we
yeah,
clash.
yeah,
We have
we have our moments, but we love each other. And to be honest, I think that sometimes when families clash,
good
it's because
morning.
the amount of love that they have for each other,
Right.
and everybody wants their opinion or their idea to be the most relevant. And it's not always the case. So you just have to find that perfect blend, like the perfect seasoning or the perfect recipe. You just
Yeah.
have to find a way to kind of put it together. You don't think the flavors are going to mingle and mix well, but then they turn out to be something kind of wonderful. So I'm learning through the course of that to
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Just to
bring
let
it first.
and it's mostly it seems our grown children, and I'm excited about our what we're getting ready to embark on today with our guests. And it's
Yeah,
exciting to me because to be honest with you, what the topic is and what we're getting ready to talk about, I'm really curious. Because it's not a thing where I feel that parenting is always easy. Even, and parenting ain't necessarily got to be the mother and father. Parenting could be the auntie, the uncles,
that's
the
right.
grandparents, any caregiver, and I find even in my walk, parenting is it could be very difficult. Now with society being the way it is, it's even more
Yeah,
difficult. And
yeah,
and I'm excited about this. I'm excited to hear what our guest is get ready to talk about and what she's going to bring out and empty in her bag. And I want each one of y'all who's watching, give some love, give some hearts, give some, because it takes a lot for people to get on here and empty their bags. This is not easy. Not even to talk to a lot of people because, of course, you got some that hate on you because they feel differently. Then you have some who they don't really understand what you're talking about and they give, they're like whatever and they don't even want to be bothered. But you got some who cares like us. We care enough. It's a ministry. We care enough to allow y'all to know what's in our bag. So maybe it'll help you. So, like I'm saying to
exactly.
right now, share. If it's on your page right now, share it. Share this on your page. And let other people besides you hear about what these guests are emptying their bags. It's not easy emptying your bags. It's not
That's
giving a
right.
voice to the voiceless. But let me tell you right now, we are going to introduce to some, and we're going to present to other our guests, our beautiful guests, and our ladybug.
Hi,
Good
good
morning. Good
morning.
Good morning.
Good
morning.
morning.
Y'all, let me tell you something. I met her through my grandbaby.
Hmm.
My grandbaby, her
Yeah.
daughter and my grandbaby are great friends. They call each other besties. That's what.
Yes.
And we were in graduation. We went to graduation, and
Mm.
literally once we left graduation, our family combined together. We went to IHOP,
Yeah.
and while we were at IHOP,
Hmm.
we bonded. And then what was the best part about it? They came over for a play date.
Yeah.
We was it was outstanding. I enjoyed everything about it. And when I spoke to her and I asked her about what's in the bag and I was telling her about it and I asked her if she wanted to come on, she said, "Yeah, I love you, girl. I love
Thank
you
you.
and brought you into. We are now family, and we actually going to allow her to go ahead on and find out what's in her cup because I know she got a cup over there. What's in that cup, girl?
This is my version of my Starbucks Frappuccino. It's just some milk and coffee with a little bit of ice.
Hey, iced coffee.
Okay.
Yes, I tell you, I drink it in the morning. Well, everybody, let me just go ahead on and introduce her to you. Jessica, can you let these people know what's in your bag, girl?
Yes. Gentle parenting. It What does it take? How hard is it? And is it as simple as social media makes it to be? Because parenting on a normal is not for the weak.
That's right.
um, I have two girls, a 4 and a 6 year old, and when they're separate from each other, it's not that hard. But when they're together, man, when they're together, it is. There's days where I'm like, I don't even know like how to parent here. Like, and it is true, it does take a village to parent these kids. And I just feel that the way that I grew up, I guess looking back on it, is completely different from today's parents
Right.
and today's
Mm-hmm.
grandparents and today's kids. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think kids ever came with a manual. Being a mother, being a father, being an auntie, being whatever you are to these kids, there was never any manual. But I feel that, you know, growing up, there was a lot of people around to help and to instill certain factors, certain beliefs into these kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where that got lost along the way because I don't feel that that's how we have it now. And
Mm-hmm.
I we didn't realize that that was a luxury because it's not
That's
around
right.
anymore.
Right. That's right. It's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is gentle, is it hard? I mean, just a question because I
Mhm.
normally let you answer this. But a gentle parenting, what would you, in your version, or what would you find gentle parenting is, even in the walk with your children?
So right now, I try to um, be as level headed as I can be with them because
Mm-hmm.
with kids, there's a lot of emotions involved and they don't know how to address those emotions. They don't know how to deal with those emotions. Even some adults don't know how to deal with their own emotions. But the difference between
Right.
the adults and children is that adults can voice their opinion and no one's going to tell
Mm-hmm.
them, oh, don't say that, or oh, don't feel that way, or whatever. But when it comes to a child, I feel that children don't get that same respect because they're children. And
Yeah.
I don't think that's 100% fair because just because you're a child doesn't mean that you don't have a right to feel your emotions.
Yeah.
Right,
It doesn't mean that
That's
you
right.
don't have a right to voice your opinion. It may not make sense, as a
right,
child, but
Yeah.
that's why the adult should be there to be able to explain and teach that child what's
right,
right from wrong, or how to voice their opinion and deal with their emotions.
right. Because our children voices are their opinion, believe it or not.
Yeah.
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 Oh, oh my God. And I mean, and I'm not trying to be funny, but I get that part about gently talking to them also.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
How do you feel about that? The way
Yeah.
you talk to them.
Yeah,
I
I believe in that 500% because
Yeah.
I've always looked at kids being little people. They're not, they're little people. We're big people and they're little people. And
Hmm.
Yeah.
I always believe in speaking to my children, not at them and not
Hmm.
around them.
So how do
And
Hmm.
you
I believe in
feel?
fully explaining everything to them.
How do you feel about that? Because I've heard parents in the way they talk to their kids. Yeah. Tell-
It's I feel like I'm trying my best to gentle parent because sometimes I'm just like, these kids, they don't know me. And sometimes they test my boundaries and it's like I feel like they're bullies sometimes, you know? And it's
Mm,
like, you know, whenever I felt bullied, I've always spoken up. I've never bit my tongue. I've never, you know, I
mm,
was never one of those people that just like let it happen.
Right.
I
Me.
was always taught to respect my elders, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I don't want to be treated as a child because I'm not a child anymore. I'm an adult, so
mhm.
I'm gonna voice my opinion, and I try to give these kids the same respect, but sometimes I feel like I'm yelling more than I'm talking.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
I understand that part. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah. And frustration. Sometimes you get so frustrated at the point. You know, and I mean, case in point, I'm gonna have to bring this up. When we had our first meeting, them babies was going. They were going.
Mm-hmm.
They were
Mm-hmm.
going. And I was telling Jessica, I was like, just let them go. You
Just
know,
let them.
just let them be who they are. And of course, we want them to behave at the
Mm-hmm.
time that we want them to behave. So, what would you tell somebody? Okay, so if your child is getting so out of hand at the point, and you want to gentle parent them, do you got an idea what would you do to gentle parent? Because I need to know what anybody
Well,
out there know.
listen, a good friend of mine gave me this book,
Hmm.
and I'm starting to read
Mm-hmm.
it, and I'm hoping that I can learn something from here, because when I do, I will answer your question.
So really, you're trying to get answers. Anybody know out there about what gentle, how they respond? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I've read that book before.
Is it good?
I've read that book. Positive. It's a very good book. And when I read it, it made me think about some things that I was already doing,
Mhm.
and positive and bad. And
Mhm.
so one of the things that I was doing, I was allowing my frustration to spill over, and I would
Mhm.
yell more. And then
Mm-hmm.
I also realized that is something that I inherited, because it
Mm-hmm.
was
Yeah.
yell, because you think that if you get loud, that is going to instill fear into your child. And they're going to do what you want them to do.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And then in that book, it tells you you don't want your children to fear you. You want them to respect you, and that there's a
Mhm.
difference between the two.
Yes.
So what I did, I learned to stop doing the yelling and talk to them. And something that Marvina does is something that I had been doing all along, but not realizing it. And that was, I started asking them questions, getting
Mhm.
inside their mind. And I
Mhm.
would say, what you did, does that make sense to you? Well, explain to me why it makes sense to you. And I would listen. And you would be, and some of the most comical things come from things that kids say.
Mhm.
And and so I go back and I think about that. We watched a comedy special the other night, and the lady said that her kids asked her if they could eat breakfast at night before they went to bed so they could sleep in the next day. And when I thought of every time I think about that, it reminds me of things that my kids used to say. And you'd be like, what in the world? But if I just yelled at them, I would have never been able to see it
I,
through their
and
eyes.
I'm relating to the yelling part because it took me as my children got an adult. My oldest son. One day, I was talking to him, and no, I was yelling. I was yelling. I was yelling. And he looking at me like I'm crazy. Now, mind you, what I said is he's my oldest son, so that means he was grown, right?
Mhm.
Hmm.
And he had to actually ask me, "Why, Mom? Why you yelling? We can't hear you when you yelling. We used to you yelling."
Yeah.
So I literally had to do inventory and realize the way I want to be respected. I want to give that same respect to my children.
That's
And it
right.
Mhm.
gave me an insight on my past. My mom's on the phone. My mom's on here, and I'm not going to, she was a yeller. My mom was a yeller.
Mhm.
And to the point, sometimes my older sister would get startled. One of my middle sister, and she could tell me, and that's funny, but I'm just saying, It is. You can inherit that. You can start
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
what your parents was doing to you until someone, whether it's your children, normally
Yeah.
it's your kids, let you know that you don't have to yell. You don't have
Mhm.
to.
That's
You
right.
don't have to disrespect. You can. We can go in this just like you said as little people. We're younger than you. We're your children, but we're not here for you to
Yeah.
lash out and treat us the way you think that is good, and in actuality is hurting us in the future
Mhm.
because we're going to do the same thing that you're doing to your children to them because they
Yeah.
inherit
Yeah.
that. They picked that
Mhm.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's
Exactly.
the gentle parenting part? The gentle parenting part on yelling and not
It's
react.
to reverse it. Yeah. Talk.
Yeah.
Talk to your babies. Talk to them. Yeah.
And I try that. I like to believe that I try that a lot. Because growing up, I'm a out of four siblings. I'm
Mhm.
the second girl, but I'm the third child.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Um, from both my mom and dad, and then my dad has another boy. So either way, I've always been like the middle child.
Right.
Mhm.
Um, so I was always a child that like I kind of like played by myself. I mind my business, just be in the corner
Mhm.
doing something while everybody else was creating havoc or whatever. And then I would like sometimes join in because I'm not gonna say I was innocent,
Right.
no child is.
Right.
Um, but I do remember a lot of yelling, a lot of like verbal and like emotional abuse.
Mhm.
And I don't think that it was my parents' fault. I think that that's something that happened to them as children. So they
Mhm.
in turn went and, did it to their children. And it's just like a domino effect. It just keeps
Mhm.
going and going and
Exactly.
going. And when I actually moved down here to Georgia from New York, I realized how calm and quiet and change of environment it was that
Mhm.
it actually like calmed something inside me down.
Wow.
So
Mm.
then when my mom moved down here, well, when she first came to visit, she was like always yelling at me for random things. And I'm like, Ma, why are you yelling? Like, I'm right here, you know? And then
Mhm.
she stopped the yelling for the most part. And then when my sister came
Wow.
down,
That's a
my
blessing.
sister just constantly always yelling. Like, she just does not stop yelling. And I really don't understand why. She's always yelling. Like, she'll have a conversation with you and she's yelling. Like, she's like talking at
An
you.
ear issue.
Probably, I don't know, but she's just constantly yelling, and I'm always telling her stop yelling.
Mhm.
So whenever I get to the point where I'm, overstimulated and I'm tired and I'm over it already, I catch
Mhm.
myself yelling, and it's like I try to calm myself down and take a step back to see what I'm doing. And like I apologize to my
Mhm.
kids because there's nothing wrong with, owning up to your mistakes and saying that
Right.
you're sorry. I feel that
Exactly.
doing that teaches them that it's okay for them to apologize too.
Right.
Mhm.
I've never had an I'm sorry from my parents ever for whatever they did. It's always like I'm the adult and you got to do what I say. And it's like,
Right.
well,
Yeah.
that's not necessarily true.
Right.
Sometimes you have to apologize for your
Yeah.
mistakes or for your outbursts.
Human. Right. Right.
Mhm.
So I feel that when I do get to that point where it happens, it's not something that is intentional. I do go back and I apologize to them and I explain my outburst to them, so that way they understand that I'm addressing my emotions and I'm explaining to
Mhm.
them why I had those emotions.
I
Mhm.
And
I remember times when I was so angry, I get so upset with my kids, I would threaten them and say to them, "I'm gonna make you see Jesus."
yeah,
And mainly you telling
Yeah.
your kids you're gonna kill them. Or I remember
Yeah.
my best. I had her name. Well, I don't know. I want to say her name, but we used to hang out our children together, and my oldest children. We used to say, "Girl, I'm gonna break off your leg and throw it in the
I.
um, stuff like that. Things threaten, you know what I'm saying? Or I remember one time I was getting in trouble, and my mom said to me, "Don't be mad at your father. His bark is bigger than his bite." I'm thinking my dad
Mhm.
was a dog. and he gonna, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm
Yeah,
saying to you is not that it's we gotta look at what we say to our kids and
that's
how
right.
we react
Yep.
when they're doing things that you don't necessarily want them to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Into
I,
parenting.
yeah, because
Mhm.
it has lasting effects. I remember telling my kids one time, and Lord forgive me, they were in the back seat and they were just, whoo. And I
Mhm.
said, if y'all don't stop, I'm going to roll down the windows and toss y'all out the car. Further, and it takes my mom to say this. She said, don't do that because they didn't want to ride with me. They were scared to get in the car with me. They thought that if they misbehaved, I was literally going to throw them out the window because I yelled it. I was pissed off. I used some words and language that I should not have used. And then my mom said, she said, she said, you got to work on things. You got to work on things. And Jessica, one of the things that you're doing that probably didn't even pick up on, you breaking generational
Generational curses.
curses.
Thank you.
Exactly. So
And
how
that says,
did you ever react
yeah, and that
like
says a lot.
have you ever react
One
like that?
generation next to the next. I'm so sorry, my son.
Yeah, your thing. Have you ever react like that, Jessica? Have you ever felt like, oh my God, want to threaten or
Yeah. One time specifically, and I'm not proud of it, but where my oldest, my 6-year-old, she we were in Walmart and I had went to return something. So usually when I go to Walmart, I always put them in the cart, you know. Off the first thing we do is you get in the cart because I'm not running after you. And because I was returning something, I didn't get no cart. So I was like, all right, baby, come on. You know, my youngest stayed in the car with the father, and my oldest came with me. And I'm holding her hand, and now I have a bad hand because I had surgery. So I don't have no strength on that hand. So she's holding that hand. So we go, I return what I was returning. She's playing with some stuff because you know they have like the shopping carts with the returns and stuff. She's playing with some stuff there. I'm letting her play. I'm done returning stuff. I grab her hand. We walk out. As we're at the door to Walmart, like literally, I'm walking out the door. She just takes off and she just like lets go of my hand. And I couldn't grip her hand to stop her. She ran off, like back into the store.
Mm,
So I went back after her and I'm looking for her and I'm following her. And she goes like down like one of these like clothing aisles. So I go around to like catch her on the other side
mm,
and all of a sudden she's gone. I didn't see her. I couldn't find her. Nothing. So I start panicking and I'm trying to stay calm. I'm like, oh my God. Because the first thing in my head, I was like, someone took her. You know,
yeah.
I just think child trafficking. I just think like, I think the worst, you know,
right?
like
Mm,
one of my worst fears. And she's
right.
only, at the time, she was only 5. She had just turned 5. So she wasn't there mentally to understand like, oh, you know, someone can take me, you know, my mommy's gone. I don't know my mommy's number. I don't know my mommy's name, you know, stuff like that. And I'm looking for her and what felt like 5 minutes felt turned into like 15 to 20 to 30
Wow.
and I start freaking out. So I called my daughter's father because I didn't want to call him. I was like, he's gonna blame me. He's gonna say that you see, you're always like letting her run around, letting her do her own thing. Like I just kept thinking
Mm-hmm.
the worst. So I call him to come inside and help me find her.
Oh,
We're looking. I go to the employee, you know, for them to help me find her. They page her. I'm like, she's 5. She's not gonna understand to come to the front. You know, she's just gonna keep. If she's in the store, she's not gonna understand that. So I'm looking at the doors, you know, making sure that I don't see her. I'm looking for her clothes. I start crying, and I'm crying and crying and crying, crying, crying. Finally, they found her, and I'm crying like a baby because I'm like thinking the worst. Finally, we get in the car, and then we go home. The next day, same thing happens at Sam's Club. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going with you nowhere. You know, like you're not coming with me anywhere anymore because if you're not gonna listen to me, you know, anything could happen. And she's laughing and she's like, oh, mommy, you're dramatic. Nothing's gonna happen to me. And I'm like, oh, really? Okay. I was like, would you like it if someone snatched you up, put you in a car, and then like left you in the woods and did stuff to you and hurt you in very bad ways? And she's like, nothing's gonna happen. So I drove to like this like wooded area and I was like, all right, let's go, get out the car. And she's like, what? And I'm like, come on, let's get out the car. So she's thinking I'm playing and I drop her off. right? And I get her sister in the car, and I'm like, all right, bye. And she's like, what? And I'm like, bye. If you don't want to
Mhm.
be with me, you don't want me to be your parent anymore, you're okay with someone just grabbing you and giving you food and taking care of you, then go ahead. But that's not what's going to happen. You know, they're going to hurt you, they're going to do bad things to you.
Right.
And she started crying and crying and crying and crying. And like, I felt horrible. But I felt like that was, at that point, that was the only way to get it in her head that
Well,
it's,
let's.
I'm doing it for your safety. I'm not doing it for any other reason.
I love you.
Mhm.
And I'm not proud of it at all. But I feel like if it wasn't for that, she would have not known not to leave my side.
I'm proud of
Yeah,
you. It ain't like
I
you
love
left
how
her.
you did that.
Yeah, you didn't leave her. You gave her an example. That, to me, that's
Yeah.
gentle parenting. Because, man, I mean, she got to understand. That was her way
Mhm.
of understanding. Sometimes people aren't
That's
audio
right.
or visual. They got
Mhm.
to actually have to go through it for them to get an understanding. You tell them 20 times don't put their hands on the stove, and then they don't do it. I mean, then they do it. Then they get the understanding of
They realize it's
Mhm.
hot.
what
Yeah.
what how it is. I'm one of the. I think. See, I'm sorry I didn't tell y'all when y'all put comments up. I would love for y'all to put your names behind, because Facebook don't allow us to 90 of y'all, 90% of y'all to put your names up there. But this one said we were not born parents. We have to learn how to be a parent. Every child has
Hmm.
a different personality, and you have to judge yourself accordingly. Oh, that's my mom,
That's
Carol.
right.
Mhm.
how, how to speak to them, how to put yourself in their shoes and understand the peer pressure they are going through.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Exactly. Very much so.
Mhm.
Very, very much so. And children don't understand stuff until they go through it. I'm sorry to say it. You got to let them go through, and you got to understand and treat them in the same manner that you want them to be respected, but you got to give them some kind of boundaries and give them an understanding. And what you did, I don't care what anyone said. I don't feel bad about it. Don't you feel
That's
bad about it?
right.
My parents used
Nah.
to yell at us too, and you better not ask them why they are yelling.
Yep.
They should say, I brought you in this world.
Yep.
And
World. I think we
I
all
heard
got
that
that.
one too.
not
I
only
think we all heard that one.
you got that beating, they were raised like that, so it came down the line. It came from slavery. Who
Yeah, this
was
is
that
true.
the internet? I don't know who wrote that, but that was a good one. It's just true.
Yeah,
It is.
It's true. We was
this is
taught
true.
to they was taught to be. I wonder if back before before the slavery came or any of those type of things were they actually beating people? I mean, they beat animals. I mean,
Yeah.
but I don't even really believe now it's a black or white or Hispanic or any of those things. It's just a parent thing.
Mhm.
Sometimes we get so angry, we feel like, okay, yelling and screaming at them because they're not doing what you want them to do. And I have a hard time when somebody expect a person to do something that they want them to do and keep, of course, right or wrong. But when you're
Mhm.
trying to change a person and that's not
Mm.
their heartfelt, I mean, even a child, if
Yeah,
that's not what
yeah,
they want to do, they're not going to do it.
Right.
You're going to have to put some
exactly. You're
fear
exactly
is one
correct.
thing, but and that's the only way they're going to do what you tell them to do, by giving them fear.
Mhm.
Instead of explaining to them, giving them an understanding, give them some wisdom, knowledge, and understanding on why not yelling at them and telling them that they're not
Hmm.
worth anything, or you gonna be like your daddy, you ain't worth nothing like your sorry mama. You better do this, you gotta do that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
gentle parenting. Gentle parenting is understanding that you have a little human being that have rights just like you.
Mhm.
Then
Yeah.
exactly, exactly,
talk to them just like you want to be
exactly.
talked to. Make sure
Mhm.
they understand. If you're walking around here making your children fearful, which I did, my children feared me, but they still know how to talk to me. Because
Mhm.
my main thing to them was, if, I need to trust you. I need to
Mhm.
trust you.
Mhm.
Just like you want to trust mommy, I need to trust you. Now, if I tell you you do not go in this person's house and steal something, and then you coming out with something in your pocket,
Mhm.
Yeah.
mommy is have a problem with that. How do
Mhm.
you deal with that? How do you do? You bring that child back to them parents in
Mhm.
that house and let them know that your child has taken something and that doesn't belong to them. You don't
Mhm.
parent and give them things that they don't deserve.
Mhm.
If,
Right.
if your child didn't earn it, why are you giving it to
Then
them?
they don't
Right.
get why they get
Mhm.
why they
That's
getting it.
not
I'm a big
Jesus.
stickler about that.
Me too.
Yep.
You running
Yeah.
around here making your child. When you don't parent them, and I'm not just gonna say parent, gentle parent, but parent them in the right way. Gentle parenting is teaching them right from wrong.
Mhm.
Exactly.
And if you do that beyond giving them things that don't belong to them, what are you teaching your children? That
That it's okay.
Yeah.
that is okay
Yeah.
to
That
do,
it's okay.
Mhm.
to cheat,
Mhm.
to lie.
Mhm.
Mhm. That if you do all the wrong things, you get rewarded for the wrong things
Not even
Yeah.
just
versus the yeah.
not even just wrong, just didn't earn it. If you just don't earn
Yeah.
it, you
That's yeah.
don't get it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't care
Yeah.
what the statue is. I don't know who you are. I don't care what your position is. I don't care where you look and feel.
Yeah.
That it's important that your child should look good. If your child didn't earn it,
You know. I'm gonna tell
They
you
don't get
something.
it. Yeah.
Now, and my children can tell you. Now, my version when they and I'm one of those parents. I like for my kids to look good when they go to school because of bullying issues and things of that
Mhm.
nature. But when they get out of hand, and I did this with one of my nieces, I took everything that she had and I gave her one pair of pants, one shirt, one sweater, and she had to wear it
I remember
every
telling you.
day. Yes, every day. Because what the law says is that all I have to do is feed you and clothe you and provide you with shelter. It doesn't say that I have to give you multiple outfits or any of those types of things. Those are things that are luxuries. When you misbehave, this is what you get.
Yeah.
And my kids, they started paying attention to that. Like mommy, she's not going to yell anymore. She's not going to hit. And I really did not spank my kids, but I did give punishments, and we talked about different things and situations and why they were receiving punishment so that they can understand and move forward. But I don't
Mm.
believe in rewarding kids for inappropriate behavior, misbehavior, and just poor performance. I don't believe in.
Yeah.
This is so very true. I love when y'all write stuff. You took your earphones out.
They died.
They died on you.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
sorry, y'all hear the echo. Okay, this is so very true that me wait our rewards bad behavior. Okay, yes, I'm trying to get what you said. It's kind of I think they said that is so very
He
true
rewards
that
bad
me
behavior.
I'm for rewarding bad behavior and yes, but not even just not even just the bad behavior, rewarding children that don't earn anything. If they don't earn it, they just don't get it. That's called
Yeah.
gentle parenting. If I tell you to clean the house or keep your room clean, and you don't do what you decide to clean at it, or maybe you cleaned it yesterday and then it's dirty tomorrow, rewarding them is not a great thing to do. That's just an example. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I've just got one more question, Jessica.
Mhm.
As a mama of two children, did you comprehend that it wasn't going to be an easy road, even by the fact that when you was growing up? Because I heard you say you was more of the person that sat at the side and the other kids did mischief stuff. Did you realize that as once you had your children that you were had to go a route of having gentle parenting skills?
Well, I never wanted kids. I always wanted to be the cool auntie, not a mom. But God had other plans for me. So when I became a mom, like when I was pregnant, I always said to myself, and I said to my partner, I don't want to be like our parents. I want to be different from our parents. I don't want
Mhm.
my child to feel any of the feelings that I felt when I was yelled at, when I was, spoken to, or things that were said to me. I don't want that to happen to our kids. Um, and we try our best to um, not repeat the same mistakes that our parents did, and it's hard.
Mhm.
And whenever my partner gets out of line, which he does very often, um, I try to remind him, like, hey, this didn't work with us as a child. We shouldn't be repeating it with our kids. We try to talk to them
Mhm.
differently, and he does go back to them. He apologizes for his outbursts and he explains. And
Mhm.
I do the same thing. I try not to have as many outbursts
Mhm.
Mhm.
with them, even though I'm the one with them majority of the time.
Mhm.
Um, but we always wanted to be different, and it's sad because we we want them we want our kids to have, you know
Think she went. I think you went. She froze.
Yeah,
She
she
froze.
froze.
And I got and some of you out there who have children. I mean, give. I know she froze, but she's right now. She's asking. Be honest with you, y'all might think that this is
Yeah,
her really telling her bag, but she's asking for help.
she's she's
She's
asking.
asking, do anybody have any advice with her because she is really struggling with parenting and gentle parenting. This is not like, oh, she got the answers to the problem. She really
Exactly.
doesn't. She's needing to understand that how she can work this
Become more of
out.
a gentle, more
Yes,
of a
yes,
gentle parent.
yes. So if anybody out there that's watching, give her some, get some advice. Tell us what you think. Help
Mhm.
her out.
hmm
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anyone out there.
You know, like you said, there aren't any. There are a lot of books written,
None.
but a lot of the
There you go. Correct.
but a lot of those books don't apply, and I'm gonna tell you why they don't apply. Those people that wrote those books based those books off of their experiences with their children. Each person born into this world has their own individual personality.
Right.
So you can't read a book
I
and say,
can't
"Oh, I'm going to take
hear
all
it
the
too much.
methodologies from this book and apply it to my lifestyle and it's going to work."
Right.
You have to take your experience on a daily basis. And you have to say, "Okay, I want to be a gentle parent." So what I used to do is I would review the previous day because I used to have a really bad anger problem. So I
Mm-hmm.
would review the previous
Bring
day
everything
and
up.
say,
Okay, let me
"What
see.
could I do?" I think she froze again. I used to say, "What can I do to make tomorrow better?
Mm-hmm.
How can I interact with my children and make that experience better than it was the day before?" And
Mm-hmm.
each day got better and better and better. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's one of the one of the things that people have to do is stop. You can't treat every child the same, and you can't parent from someone else's um book that they wrote off of somebody else's experiences.
This is my mom. She said, your mother wrote that you should remember how your grandmother used to yell. Carolyn Grayson, your children needed to respect you as well as you respect them. I hate to hear a child talk back to their parents. I saw a parent cussing at her child and called them names that really hurt me. I said to her, it's not nice that you are cussing like that to your child. One day she will embarrass you in public. She cursed me out
Hmm.
too, but she won't forget the old lady who disciplined her in public. Love it. And
That's
and that
right.
was good,
Love.
even though she might have got mad at you for saying something, but I believe it's something, some words or something you said
Something pierced her
stuck.
spirit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it is embarrassing that you watching children being cursed out and stuff like that. Parents have anger issues, even the, parenting is not easy, and I'm gonna say it myself, and I had to learn from a lot of my mistakes, and I'm praying that the mistakes that I've made, that my children, they don't do it. But I even when I see things now that I find that might remind me of the things that I might have put on my children, I might say something to my
Hmm.
kids. I might say something to them about the way, but it's really hard being a parent. It's hard to understanding, you know, how to be a parent and not take the frustration out on them like, when they do something bad or they do something you
Yeah.
don't like or whatever the case may be. So I am proud of you, Jessica. Jessica, I really am. I am so grateful that you decided to talk about what's in your bag about gentle parenting. And I'm hoping and praying, and I know it's going to get easier as they get older.
Mhm.
Um, if you keep the mindset of, I have a child that is might not be equal as I am, but need to be respected
Mhm.
just like I want to be respected.
Mhm.
And that's being able to talk to them, nurture them, all the good stuff you want to be done to you. You want to do the same thing as far as your children are concerned. That's
Yeah.
my point. That's all I have to say about the situation. And Vaughn,
Yes.
okay, I didn't know if you had anything else to say to Jessica because she's trying to leave.
Yes. I think she froze again. No, no, no. She's not frozen. She's just sitting so still. But I think you had dropped off when I was saying. I said one of the things, Jessica, I told Marvina. I said one because I used to have a really bad anger problem, and one of the things that I started to do to better myself was at night I would think about the day, the events of the day where my kids were concerned, and I would say, okay, what can I improve upon? What can I do to make my relationship better with them and the overall experience better with them? And then the next day I would try to implement those things because that's how you grow. You look at the day before, you look at that day, the events of the current day, and then see where you can make changes or improve moving forward. So that's one of the biggest suggestions
Man.
that I would give.
Y'all give my guest a hand and give her some love and show her some love.
Yes.
Jessica, do you want anyone to get in contact with you, or do you have a Facebook page or something that you
Yes.
want to let me know?
Yes. My Facebook is Jessica Restrepo. RES as in Sam. TREPO. And I am on Instagram as J Crazy. That's J3YCRAZIIX3.
All right.
Love
I
it.
appreciate you for coming aboard and
Yeah.
being part of What's in the Bag and emptying out your bag. And I know everyone else out here, our followers and family members, whoever is watching, got a lot out of it and realize that gentle parenting is not easy. It's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Society makes it hard to do also. We appreciate you and we love you and we thank you.
Look, and let's keep this conversation going on our Facebook page.
Yes.
What's in the bag? What's in the bag? It's a great topic, great conversation. Jessica, put a question out there, and just look to see what type of responses come in, and we'll keep the conversation going.
Yes. All right, girl. Let's go ahead and tell these people all the upcoming things we got coming going on. First of all, I know y'all probably wondering what happened to Be Open. Where Be Open
Oh
at?
my goodness! I'm sorry,
What's
girl. My
going on
grandson
with
just
Be
hit a home
Open?
run.
Huh? Oh, your baby got a
I said my
home run?
grandson. He just hit a home run.
Yay! Lord, you know she got to be good. She at the baseball game and on What's in the Bag.
It's funny.
All right. Well, if y'all want to talk or see us on What's in the Bag, I need y'all to go ahead on Facebook. It's What's in the Bag. Join, communicate, comment. We have chats now, especially about the topics. We want to hear. We're going to talk about the topics in the chat, and we would love for y'all to talk and to comment and say, come in and see what we're talking about on the chat.
Yeah.
Because What's in the Bag is moving. We're on the road. We are growing. We're even getting ready to go on the road. I love that. We get ready to put What's in the Bag on the road. Right, Roz? Also, if you don't want to see us on Facebook, or you're not a Facebook person, or Facebook's not your thing, we also are on TikTok. On YouTube. Let me put Facebook up here. Facebook is What's in the Bag. What's in the Bag. That's all. What's in the Bag. Now on YouTube, it's What's in the Bag 21. Do not space anything. It's What's in the Bag 21. That's the year we started launching. It's a big year of good years for us. So if you want to see us, all our segments are on What's in the Bag 21. You can try that. And also all you gamers who likes to game, who's on Twitch, we also are on What's in the Bag 21 on there. While we're live, it's always showing. You can go in and check us out on Twitch. If you need to speak to us about anything, we have a phone line. If you want to be part of What's in the Bag, you can leave us a message. Also, if you want to be part of What's in the Bag, you can you can DM us on Facebook. I forgot to say that. You can DM us and let us know that you want to be part of What's in the Bag and you want to be on the panel. And guess what? We got a list of people that's coming. So you better come on if you want to do it in 2023.
Right.
Because 2024, we already starting on our list for 2024. All right. Also, if you want a little laughter, you want to laugh a little bit, you can go on TikTok to my page. It's at Marvina Clay. I'm on TikTok. I just do a little TikTok stuff. We're actually looking to go on Instagram. I want to get on Instagram. I'm ready to get on Instagram to do some lives. Also on TikTok, we're finding out how to work this out. Because I know that we got some people on TikTok and also on Instagram that would love to hear some of the topics. Until then, we're gonna continue to work on Facebook. Now we got another segment of Be Open coming up. I ain't said too much about it, but my God, we had a great one. The first meeting on Be Open last year. Last month. No, the month before last. It's already June.
Before last. Mm-hmm.
It's already June. So in the end of June, we're getting ready to start up another meeting for Be Open. All you ones that knows about some addictive behaviors, we are putting voices to them. We ain't trying to make you stay clean. We ain't in no meetings where we're working out the book. We're just talking about addiction and we're putting a voice to it and affect it has.
Giving you a chance to be open and empty out your bag.
Yes, and be open and no judgment. We don't care. If you come on here and you feel like you coming to find out something about somebody and you feel like this is what that Be Open is for, sorry. No, we're going to open it up. We're going to be opening up registration real soon for Be Open. Also, Zachary Mitchell, he is up. He's over it. We'll be talking to him again. You'll be seeing him again. That's my boy. That's my boy. He's going to be real. I'm telling you, it was so wonderful. I think y'all going to love it. I'm glad. We're just happy to just be part of another segment. Also, we get ready to come. It's going to be What's in the Bag Ministry. What's in the Bag Ministry. Y'all know y'all like, what's that mean? Exactly what it is. It's ministry. Also, it's going to more or less, we're going to be targeting ministers and teachers and preachers and all of those things. That's another segment we're getting ready to start. See, big what's in the bag is so big that we can do a little bit of anything because the mind is huge. Which the mind is the bag is the mind, and the content of the bag is your everyday experience, even ministry. That's what we do anyway with ministry. So look forward to that for our upcoming segments. I am so excited. Who is talking to me? Hey, Nat! Love you, girl. Proud to be part. Thank you for being part of What's in the Bag, girl. Well, we get ready to get up out of this champ. Up. And I appreciate all of y'all for being part of a great segment, being part of what we got going on. God is so good. I'm going to give you his first. We pray and that you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. The rest of your weekend. Until we meet again, I'm going to put my benediction. For the Lord watch between me and thee while we absent, one from another. Amen. Girl, you got something to say?
Hey guys, it's a beautiful, beautiful day. Beautiful weekend. Get out there, love on somebody, enjoy your life, stay blessed, be a blessing, and have a blessed day.
We love you. Thank y'all for being part. Of course, we'll see you on next Saturday.